Now, there's a reason that you're not happy with your business, and I'm going to be going over that today in today's video. And I'm going to be giving you some strategies that you can use starting today that are going to make you 10 times, 100 times happier with your business. It's going to make your business more fun. And I'm going to go over reasons why you're not having that much fun right now. So if you're having fun with your business, great. Keep going, but you may want to watch this video anyway. And I want to go over a concept that Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy call the gap versus the gain. In business, we're constantly setting goals. And when we set those goals, it's usually something that's going to happen in the future. So if you're just starting out in business, your goal may be to hit $1 million per year. Pretty common goal. I see entrepreneurs all the time say they want to hit $1 million, usually within the first 12 months of their business, which isn't hard to do. You can do that pretty easily if you know how to sell, that is. But the problem is we're here and our $1 million goal is over here. And we've created this big gap. So we're here and we're looking constantly at this goal that's like, I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to get there. And that's a big gap that you can hit. Now, the problem with this gap is that when we finally do hit the $1 million goal, what happens? We just set another goal. Well, we've hit $1 million. Now let's go after $5 million. Okay, so this last year, we hit 1 million in our new business, and we went from 0 to 1 million. And now we need to go from 1 to 5 million. So now we've created a new gap. And we constantly, as entrepreneurs, put ourselves in these gap states, which is a feeling of deficiency. You're constantly feeling like you're going after something that you can never really catch. Even if you do hit a goal and you do hit that goal in the future, then you'll just set another goal. So you're constantly in this gap state. Now, there's a term called the gain. The gain does the exact opposite. And the reason I'm going over this today is because I was at a live podcast between Ryan Moran and I can't think of his name right now. He's the writer of Average Sucks, Michael Burnoff, I think. And they were going over this, and I'm going to get into what they were going over as well. And the gain is where instead of always looking forward at the next goal, we now look back at what we've been doing to get to where we are, to see the progress we made. We are human beings that thrive on momentum and progress. And if we don't get momentum and progress, then we just don't feel good. We're not happy. If we're in that gap state, always going for a goal that's in the future, you never feel momentum and you never feel progress. Therefore, you never will be happy. However, if we take and look today at everything we've accomplished in the past quarter or year, you will see that you've made progress. And that's called the gain. So entrepreneurs constantly focus on the gap, and that's why they're unhappy. But if you focus on the gain, what you have accomplished, then you will be happy because you're going to be like, wow, I've actually accomplished a lot more than I thought I had. So something that I do, and how can you make this practical? Something I do is I try to set up winning a million ways to win. You always want to figure out how can you win today. And if you have a million wins, it could be getting up in the morning and working out first thing. It could be having morning coffee with your wife or spouse. It could be eating breakfast with your kids. And if you focus there and be present there, then you have these little wins throughout the day and you're going to be constantly winning. And when you're constantly winning, you're constantly feeling good and then you're happy. Additionally, in business, we kind of feel like we don't have momentum. But if we sit down once a quarter, this is what I do. I have a sheet. It's called my reflection sheet. It's in my calendar. Every quarter it goes off and it just tells me it's reflection time. So I open up this Google document. It takes me literally about 30 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, depends on the quarter. And I open up my calendar right beside it and I just look at what I did that quarter. When did I have the most fun? When did I see the most gains? What did I do to make those gains? Where was our business before the quarter started? Where did it end up? And when I do that, you're focusing on the little wins and the progress that you've made throughout the day or throughout the quarter. And I do that every single quarter because I'm focusing on the gains that I had. And when you do that, you're in a constant state of happiness. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it's usually because you don't feel like you can hit your goal. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, you especially need to sit down and reflect on what you've done in the last quarter. So create a million ways to win in your business. Create a million ways to win in your life. And then reflect on those wins. Reflect on them, write them down. I do this for my children. I have a document where every 2 weeks it pops up. And I just go over the great things happen in those 2 weeks with my children. And it keeps me in a gain mindset, a gratitude mindset for my kids. So you can do this in any area of your life. You can do it with your spouse. You can do it for your business. But if you're not happy in your business, it's usually because you're focused on that gap mindset. You're focused on the next goal. And when you focus on the next goal, you tend to get stressed out, you tend to get overwhelmed, and you tend to be unhappy. But if you focus on the progress that you made, then you tend to be happy. You tend to feel in momentum, in flow. So start focusing, write it down once a quarter. Put it in your calendar to go off once a quarter and write down the progress you made for that quarter. And I guarantee you will have more happiness in business. Hey, I wanted to thank you for watching this video, and I picked out another video just for you. So make sure you check out that other video. And what do they need to do? Do they need to like and subscribe? Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content.